Hey, what's up? This me, Robert, and this is another installment of Eat, Sleep, Play, Talk Wrestling, Repeat. And I have two special gameplay I'm going to show you for this video. The first gameplay is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, where I play in Free For All, and Grand Theft Auto 5, where I do some crazy stuff. And both of them is for PS4. And the topic I'm going to talk about is something that came up on Facebook on the FTW podcast page, and one of our FTW community member, Ishmael Carmichael, who is my brother, who asked us a very important question: Is WWE is going to survive in 2015? Now, some people give their opinion and give their answers, but for me, the only answer I can give them is they're going to struggle. I mean, it's not a yes or no. Is they go to struggle because they have so many problems. I mean, tons of problems. Like WWE has been competing with many people, like from TNA, Ring of Honor, and they try to compete with UFC, which that's a shutout. But they all been out wrestled, outclassed, and outperformed by their own brand, the NXT. Because after our revolution, people are drawn to the NXT even more. Of course, they have Takeover. A long time ago, they have a rival Takeover, Takeover 2 with the Fatal 4-Way, and now with Revolution, I think that one is like skyrocket for NXT rosters and the talent and everybody else who work with NXT. And it got so good on the next day on Raw, they start chanting NXT, and they even sometimes boo the New Day as well. Even though that was by accident or whatever, but they feel discontinued with the WWE main roster. It got so bad for WWE main roster, John Cena had to hold a group meeting, or I say group tactic meeting, after the Raw was over. I guess just to keep their morals up, keep their heads up, and try to motivate them to do better than NXT. Because right now NXT is doing better than the main roster. I mean, they have better wrestling, better matches, better titles. I mean, real rounded, including better storyline. That's what made NXT so much better. And another problem is they, well, I won't say they, Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon have lost all his faith or trust to his roster. I mean, he even mentioning on the Stone Cold podcast last year when he say none of his talent have ambitions or they don't have the hunger to grab the brass ring. Even though what CM Punk said about the brass ring a couple of times. But it just rubbed the talent the wrong way. And, and surely he don't know what to do with Cesaro. He said it in front of the millions of people who watch the WWE Network and other YouTube channels who capture it. He said it. He don't know what to do with Cesaro. And that's a big red warning flag for it because ain't you supposed to build up superstars and you supposed to do what you do with your guys. I mean, look how they built up tons of stars from The Rock, Stone Cold, Randy Orton, tons of guys. But you don't know what you do with Cesaro, even though he was hot after WrestleMania 30 when he won the Andre and Giant Memorial Battle Royale, and they call him the King of Swings, and the fans start chanting his name and root for him. But now they dropped the ball on him. Like, let's get real here, they dropped the ball, and most person to blame is Vince McMahon, and mostly the writers. It got so bad because Cesaro he was from a good rising star who should get a title shot or supposed to win the Money in the Bank match last year to being jobbed out to Wade Barrett or Bad News Barrett. I won't be surprised if Cesaro left WWE in the summer. I mean, I won't be surprised of it because he not been treating fair in WWE. And another problem for WWE is not enough rotation. What I mean is we don't see fresh face in the main event. I mean, take a prime example in TNA When you watch TNA, you see different faces in the main event spot. Only time you see the same faces is an ongoing feud or a rematch. Mostly like 3 matches, and most of the time it'd be good. You look at Ring of Honor, long feud, but sometimes they switch it out just to give the story a breath of a new air. But WWE is so drawn out and it become dull and boring. That's why WWE main event picture looks so small. And now they relied on John Cena and Brock Lesnar, who did little or put little value towards the title. I mean, yeah, we were happy for Brock Lesnar destroying John Cena, which was the best thing I ever seen. But after that, it was kind of like, eh, okay, yeah, he's Brock Lesnar. Yes, he's a UFC fighter. He's a legit fighter, but he's a no-show, and not defending title for 2 or 3 pay-per-views is not good for Brock Lesnar or for the championship title. But Vince McMahon said he's a part of the special attraction, which that's the dumbest thing I ever heard coming from Vince McMahon's mouth. That's my opinion about it. And if they put him like a main event roster, if they have rotation, like switch around with Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, of course Roman Reigns, but even though Roman Reigns have lots of room to improve to become a main event player, I think he'd be a good guy. But right now's not the time. I will get back to it later on. But I want to see fresh faces in the main event roster or the rotation, and it make the WWE look brand new every single time, and keep the fans, you know, attention, or keep the fans going, or connect with them emotionally. Back to Roman Reigns, they really give Roman Reigns a push because I guess Vince McMahon is he's a good looking wrestler and he fit the mold for it. But us fans, to me, I think there's more. Of course, the promo, I won't say dry, but it's kind of like up in the air type. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like we try to find a connection with you sometime, or with Roman Reigns sometimes. But but most of the time, he don't do enough as a main event. Yeah, he feud with Randy Orton, but that's about it. The most of the time we see Roman Reigns get that much pop was when he was in Survivor Series like 2 years ago, where he was the last guy standing. He had to fight off, a couple of the remainders of the teams. I remember that one. I remember he was last year Royal Rumble, and people started popping for Roman Reigns. But once the Shield's broken up, most of the attention goes to Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, but a little bit of Roman Reigns. But he did get some help from WWE and Vince McMahon. So pretty much we're gonna see a little bit push, but not that much. And another big problem is Daniel Bryan. He's back, and I hope Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble because right now there's rumors around with Dolph Ziggler supposed to win, or Dean Ambrose supposed to win, and Roman Reigns supposed to win. And the last thing I want to see is the repeat from last year Royal Rumble when the Royal Rumble get booed. Now, I'm not talking about the boo a certain superstar. I meant the whole entire event get booed. Now, I never see Rey Mysterio get booed like that since he was a part of Filthy Animal in WCW days. All the young kids don't know Rey Mysterio, who was part of the Filthy Animals crew with Conan, Billy Kidman, Hoover Guerrero, and at that time Rey Mysterio was unmasked. Just a little bit brief history. Another part of problem is the lack of divas. What that means is they're not putting much effort into divas division. I mean, the NXT women division, I give big props to it because with the title or without the title, they still put in work. And that's what I love about the NXT women more than the divas. Because the divas right now for the WWE main rosters, they are mostly focused on total divas. That's all they ever focus on, the total divas. Even the storyline part of the total divas, even though it's a year old. And that make the whole storyline and the WWE main roster look stupid. But we look at NXT women division, mostly is rival, gun to the top, or fighting for the championship title. And that's what makes it special for NXT women. Because when you think about NXT women, you think about not so much for the Attitude Era, but mostly in the Ruthless Aggression era or the late or early 2000s of the Attitude Era. Because back in the days, the Divas was heavily promoted, heavily involved with the title or without the titles. And this other problem is right now they're moving shows around. Like they're moving NXT to Wednesday. I guess they try to compete with Lucha Underground, and then move SmackDown to Thursday at that time. So I don't know what WWE is doing. I guess that's a partial. I guess that's not a problem. I guess sort of, but this is moving around. I guess trying to compete with other wrestling promotions. Another problem is they really dislike CM Punk. I mean, because every time you mention about CM Punk, or you had to wear a CM Punk T-shirt, they would take away. They would take away your T-shirt, or they ask you remove them, and also they take away your freedom of expression. Like you can't bring us. You gotta bring like a certain sign to fit in a WWE environment. Like you can't bring in the other people podcast. You can't bring in like something to do with UFC or any other promotion. I mean, I remember the other podcast, I will not mention the name, who bring in that person name from the podcast, and the WWE security snatched it away. And I saw the name, and nothing appropriate. It was kind of like, it's just a name, and nothing. There's no profanity or nothing, but they just snatched it away. It's kind of like snatching away their freedom of speech. So there's tons of problems. Well, that's the video. Leave a like button. Tell me, what you think about WWE. Are they going to survive? Yes or no? Or maybe. Give me your thoughts. Give me your feedback. Well, until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.